guys, it is no surprise that SMA in 2023 is definitely starting to get more and more saturated, guys. Now, I'm not saying that it's oversaturated or it's a bad business model and you can't get into it. So I'm not saying that whatsoever. It's just that in 2023, it's definitely becoming harder to close clients, set meetings, and just scale up that infamous 10K per month mark for sure. And the reason for that is because the business model is surprisingly very, very good, guys. It works. So it's not surprising, is what I'm trying to say, that more and more people are trying to get into SMA and flood into SMA. Now, I know that you probably are in the SMA sphere, so that might have a little bit of a negative effect on you and thinking about the numbers are kind of slightly overinflated. And what I mean by that is, guys, we are in this echo chamber. If you're anything like me and you're looking up, business models on YouTube and you're looking into SMA on YouTube, you keep hearing SMA over and over and over and over and over again by these gurus, probably me included as well. So it kind of sounds like there's more people in SMA than you probably think. And honestly, it sounds like the numbers are actually super inflated. Now, I'm not too sure what the actual numbers are in terms of agency owners, but I'm telling you, there's way more businesses out there than there are agency owners. In fact, I don't think SMA or just social media marketing, just agencies in general, are going to be oversaturated for a very, very long time. And the reason for that is because there are people. Whenever there's people, there's needs. Whenever there's needs, there's going to be businesses providing for those needs. And whenever there's the internet, there's going to be some sort of place where people can propagate and just hang out and just socialize with. And when there's those sorts of platforms, there's going to be somebody taking advantage of them trying to sell them products or market to them, or there's just going to be a platform when they come out with a friggin' advertising platform. So as long as there's humans around, there's going to be needs. As long as there's going to be needs around, there's going to be products, services, and things to actually supply people's demands with. And because of that, there's going to be ways to market those said things. I don't think there's going to be a shortage of demand or anything like that, or so much oversaturation that doesn't even make sense. And even then, why not just go and help other agencies become better agencies by, I don't know, creating maybe like an online program or a coaching, or just doing an agency that helps other agencies. A lot of people actually say that to me, like, Montell, SMA is coming oversaturated, what should I do? I'm just like, why don't you just go help agencies land clients, become an appointment setter, literally just do appointment setting for other agencies. That's probably a great way to get into that as well. I know that a lot of people might talk about that. But anyway, guys, in today's video, I want to break down exactly what you should do in SMA right now, because it is becoming saturated. I want to show you exactly how you can stand out with your agency in 2023. So let's think about it, guys. More and more people are running and flocking to SMA to start an SMA, which is not surprising, like I said, because it actually is a good business model. So what do you actually do in order to stand out? Well, there's a couple of things I actually recommend you do in order to stand out. Number one is think about it like this. I just want to ask you a question just real quick, guys. When was the last time you randomly bought something that was like $1,000 per month from somebody who sent you a cold Instagram message, cold DM, or just cold you out of the blue? When was the last time you actually bought something for $1,000 where some random dude called your mobile phone out of the blue? You was happy to speak to them, even though you didn't even know who they are, and you set up a meeting with them and you actually bought something from them. When was the last time you did that? Now, when was the last time you actually bought an SMA course or just a business course in general? Think about what it is, the kind of steps you took in order to purchase that person's program. For example, if you've enrolled into my program or enrolled into one of the other dudes on YouTube that talks about SMA's program, how did you get there? What did you do? Just sit there and actually pull out a piece of paper and think about what you did. I'm guessing it was something like this. You had a need, aka you didn't want to go to school, college, you wanted to quit your job, you wanted that financial freedom. So you started Googling how to make money online. You came across these business models. Now, you probably started watching this business model over and over and over again on YouTube, and you started like adhering, or I wouldn't even say adhering, you kind of like started connecting with the person on the screen that was actually talking to you on the screen. They were showing you proof, evidence, that sort of stuff, breaking stuff down, being very transparent with you. Then what probably happened is you subscribed to them and you watched them over and over and over and over and over again, and you kind of like got indoctrinated by their content. Not in a very manipulative way, but just like you resonated with the person that was speaking. Then you eventually started looking into their products and you kind of like put it off. But I'm pretty sure you probably subscribed. Like, for example, if you enrolled into my program, I bet you it went like something like this. You came across one of the bigger gurus and you came across my channel. Then you started like listening to me and realized that the gurus were just more flashy, and you actually learned more from kind of like me. I get that told to me quite often, by the way. This is not just me being egotistical. And then what happened is you probably kept seeing the results of age fragmentation, showing you proof, evidence, and building authority with these YouTube videos, and eventually you clicked on a link and you decided to enroll. How different is that sales process than what you're trying to do with your SMA? With your SMA, you're just trying to bombard people with a piece of HTML text, which is a cold email, to try and get someone on a meeting to then sell them. When was the last time you bought something from a cold email? When was the last time you bought something from a cold call? So my first point I'm trying to make here, guys, is build a brand around your agency. Start creating YouTube videos, start creating content on LinkedIn, start creating content on Facebook, start creating content on freaking Instagram. I'd probably, if I was you guys, I would stick with YouTube first as my main kind of like hub for creating content, because video content is the best sort of content you can create. Long form content and short form content. Your short form content feeds into your long form content, and it's your long form content that actually gets you the sale. So this is exactly how I break it down. Short form content is for going viral and getting views and subscribers really quickly. It's because you can go viral quite quickly on like TikTok and YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. You want to push people to your longer form platforms, or a platform where you can actually nurture people more. Typically, the best place to nurture people is on YouTube with longer form content, videos that are like 10 minutes long, 7 to 10 minutes long. My videos always go over to like 20 minutes. I don't know why, maybe I talk too much. But then what you want to do is you then push them to a platform where you can actually speak with people. Maybe your Facebook, maybe your Instagram. And that's where the kind of like indoctrination process, I don't really like calling that, I don't really like that word whatsoever. I don't want to be associated with that word, but it's kind of like a process of nurturing that particular person. So let me show you how it works. You start dropping content, shorts, reels, that sort of stuff, like reels, shorts. When I say short form content, I just mean like videos that are like 60 seconds long. And you start talking about the niche's problems, aka here's free tips for real estate agents for doing Facebook ads in 2023. And then break down some real solid points that they've probably not heard about online. And if you're struggling with any of this content, don't come up with it yourself. I'm not even joking. There's literally so much content online now that you can go and watch a YouTube video, take someone's YouTube video and just break it down into 3 main points and put it into a short. That's literally how I would go about doing it, creating a short like that. You want to create one of these shorts every single day around your industry, around your niche, and drop them on your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and your Instagram and TikTok if you got TikTok, especially on YouTube as well. That then is going to push people to be like, oh, I keep seeing this guy's shorts over and over and over again. And eventually what's going to happen is they're going to become slightly more interested, and they're going to maybe hit that subscribe button. Not a lot of people will, but some people will, and eventually you're going to start building an audience of subscribers. These subscribers are going to be very high quality. Then what's going to happen is you're going to monetize your audience by telling them to either book a call in with you after you do long form content. So you're doing long form content. I recommend 3 YouTube videos a week, by the way. And it's a long form content that sells people. It's not the shorts that sell people. The shorts are just designed to get you views, engagements, and more importantly, followers. Those followers then get converted into longer term subscribers. Those subscribers then watch video after video after video after video, and it starts off a nurturing process in their brain. I think there's a rule now, the 50 touch point rule, where it says that, prospects these days in 2023, I think it's like 50 to 75 touch points. A touch point is like an impression. Every time they see you or see your name or just hear about your name, it takes them 50 to 75 interactions with your business for them to decide whether or not they're actually going to purchase from you, which is crazy when you think about it, because most people right now are probably doing this. They're going out there and they're probably sending like a sequence of like 3 to 5 emails to one business owner, and then calling it quits with that business owner because the business owner hasn't booked in a call. That's only 5 touch points. You need to be hitting 50 to 75 touch points, guys. That's why these gurus that are blowing up right now, they've got 1 million subscribers on friggin' YouTube and hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. That's why they're making so much money, is because they understand this process of building an audience, getting attention, building those interactions or those touch points, and then getting people and monetizing an audience. I recommend you do it this way. And not only this, guys, but this allows you to stand out from all the other agencies, because you're now building a brand. You're building something real, guys. Who would you rather trust? Somebody who gives you just a random cold call to tell you some Facebook ads, or somebody you've been watching YouTube videos of for like 2 months straight, and each one of their videos you resonate with? Obviously, it's going to be the dude that you watch their YouTube videos. So that's one way of standing out in a saturated market. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear this. They just want to stay at home and they want to hide and they want to cower in their bedroom, and they don't want their face on camera because of evil eye, and their parents might think of them this way, or their friends might be like, oh, you're on camera, what are you doing, like, why are you talking about business on camera if you're not successful, blah 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 blah. All that, I've heard all of the crappy excuses. I'm not even joking. I've literally heard somebody say that they don't want to start a YouTube channel because they're scared of what their friends will say. And I'm thinking like, well, If your friends are that friggin' important, are they really important enough to stop you from becoming maybe a multi-6-figure business owner, a 7-figure business owner, 8-figure business owner? Are you really that bothered about their opinion, their judgment, that it's gonna stop you from creating something great? Listen, guys, I know it feels very awkward at the beginning to start like a YouTube channel or put content out there, and you think your parents are going to be like, what are you doing? And your former employee or your former employer, your current employer is going to be like, oh, we're going to quit, you're going to fire you from this job. I've heard it all, guys, literally heard it all. But I'm telling you right now, it is worth it. 5 years down the line, you're going to thank me. 3 years down the line, 2 years down the line, 1 year down the line, you're going to thank me, guys. So that's one way of standing out in a saturated market. That's always been a way. Branding. Think about it. When you're going into the shop and you're deciding like water bottles, like literally bottled water, which bottled water brand do you buy? Well, you're probably going to stick to a brand that you like, or a brand of beer, for example. I know that Bud Light is actually in some trouble right now with some had some backlash or whatever it was. People are, choosy to what brands they actually like. So build a brand, guys. That's how you stand out in it. I mean, beer, to me, honestly, guys, I'm not really a bit of a beer drinker, but beer to me, I can kind of taste the differences between beers, but it's not great enough to sway me between one or different beers or anything like that. I just normally pick the beer. But if I was into it, I'd probably have like a favorite brand, like most people do. I know that certain people have like a really, like over here in the UK, they're like Budweisers and stuff like that. People are really into their Budweisers or Stella Artois, I believe it's called. People actually stick to their brands. Building a brand is one way you can get around saturation. That's one way. That's always been one way. It's always been one of the ways. The second way is diversificating kind of like your pricing structure or your service delivery model. Let me explain what these two mean. And I should have said these first. The first one is diversifying kind of like the way how you deliver it. I want you to take a look at like yellow taxis or just taxis in general versus Uber. Uber just came through and revolutionized the way how you do it. Now, this is obviously more difficult than I would say it's probably even more difficult than building a brand, because you have to kind of, I won't say reinvent the wheel, but you kind of have to reinvent the wheel, to be honest with you, in order to do this. It's what you call innovation. You have to innovate upon what's already working right now. AKA, I know that a lot of people right now are trying to charge like monthly reoccurring like retainers and stuff like that for their Facebook ads. And what you could do instead, guys, is actually move from just doing like a monthly thing, because some people might not like that pricing structure and the way you're delivering the service. Some people might just want to pay you a one-off time to learn Facebook ads from you and your media buyer. So maybe you could put together some sort of, I won't say online program, but more like a mastermind where you just deliver it one time to a group of business owners that are in the real estate niche and give it in that way, and they pay you a one-off fee for that. So you've gone from a monthly recurring retainer to a one-off payment. It's almost like you're reinventing the wheel. Your service delivery model is different as well, and you're innovating. It's like the Uber. Instead of doing these expensive monthly fees and stuff like that, you actually charge them up front and stuff like that. You actually just give them a one-time fee to learn the skill. So you've gone from teaching them, or giving them a fish, should I say, which is what like running ads for somebody is, giving them a fish, to teaching them how to fish. This is just food for thought, guys. Another way you can actually innovate and actually start structuring your business differently. Obviously, by the way, guys, I probably should have mentioned that you can obviously create different types of offers, but eventually every single kind of like angle is probably going to get hit in some way, shape or form. Everybody and their uncle's offering a guarantee, for example. So that's not really innovating, guys. I just thought I'd put that out there. The next thing you could do though is start delivering the service in a very different way. For example, I know that a lot of people right now, the current climate of the market is you charge a monthly fee and you do Facebook ads for somebody, for example. Well, what you could actually do instead is start doing what you call like a pay-per-show basis. So if you're generating leads for somebody, you can actually tell them that you work on a pay-per-show basis, aka you're going to pay me X amount of money per actual show up in your business. So if you're working with a gym owner and you actually get them a new customer, you can work out their lifetime value and then take a percentage of that customer's lifetime value and say, look, because I brought you this customer, the chances are the average customer stays on for this long, so you're going to make this much money over a period of 2 years or however long their client or customer retention is, and then you take a percentage of that particular money, because now you've actually generated them a customer, and you're doing things but in a slightly different way. Is what I'm trying to say. You're innovating. You're doing it in a slightly different way. So there's a couple of ways you do this. Build a brand. You innovate in terms of the service delivery structure, or you innovate in the way how you just do the business. And it's just overall general way, going from maybe doing monthly recurring and saying to people, you know what, we're not like other agencies. We don't charge you expensive 1.5k per month retainer fees. What we do is we charge you this much and we just give you the skill and you can actually leverage that. That's one way of innovating. But guys, take this video in, soak this up, because this is probably going to be one of the most important videos you watch, just simply because I'm trying to get you guys to think outside the box. That's what it's about. Innovation, thinking outside the box. And sometimes in a saturated market, you have to do things differently to your competitors. Obviously, building a brand's one of the greatest ways. If you don't want to do no innovation, you're just gonna have to build the biggest brand you possibly frigging can, or you're just gonna have to absolutely spam people with cold outreach, which everybody and their uncle's doing, so I wouldn't do that. I don't even know why I said that. Delete that, to be honest with you. So yeah, get that out of your head is what I'd say to that. Or you're gonna have to reinvent the wheel in some way. When I say reinvent the wheel, I just mean do things in a slightly different way. Not reinvent the wheel, but innovate upon what's working already. That's what I would do in that particular case, guys. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. And again, I'm not saying agency stuff is oversaturated or you can't get into SMMA because it's oversaturated. I don't believe it's oversaturated. I'm just trying to say that it's getting slightly harder to get clients. And that's a good thing. There's more competition. That means the business is working. The business model is actually working and you can actually make real money from this. So there's no surprise that it's becoming more and more popular. That's actually a good thing for us all, because now it's actually going to weed out the bad dudes from the good dudes. May the survival of the fittest thrive is what I tried to say to that. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.